Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi, or you can use other people's emotes, or if you feel like being a lurker, you have the option. If you want to, you can just lurk and you don't have to say anything. Aristophan is here. Welcome, Aristophan. It is currently a Thursday evening. We are currently at 42 subscribers out of 50. The goal is 50. I shut up at 50. We got the full half of the month left. Try to get to that. And we also have some other stuff. Because it is the holidays here. I am wearing the Santa hat. The Santa hat has arrived. It's ready to go. We're going for it. There, that's what I want. I want more like that. Put it on the side there a little bit more. Because there's a thing. It's a bonus. We got bonus days here. That's right. We're in bonus days. The end of the year. 25% off new subs until January 2nd. From today until January 2nd. We're saving. And also there's a bit bonus. Hey, Lurk Ashington. So right now, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, save some money. Gift subs will be on discount. Hey, Lashbrook, welcome. Gift subs will be on discount December 27th through January 2nd. So you can get some there, just tail end. If I look at those days, I will have streamed on the 28th. Yeah, I'll have two streams during that. The 28th and then the 31st. And then 300 or more bits adds bonus bits. You can see I got some information there in the I can make this larger. I can make this larger. Yeah, between now and January 2nd, there are some bonus bits. Oh no, that's between now and December 20th. There are bonus bits. I'll have to update that later. But yeah, there's things. So right now, bonus bits. And also, if you are new, you want to become a subscriber, save money. And then also eventually gifted subs will be more. This is their September and December kind of thing. And I think it's fine. Good on them. But yeah, we are currently trying to get to 50 subscribers. That would be nice. We don't have to get there. But it's always good to work towards that. Miorine. We did a lot of Miorine on Monday. We did quite a bit. We're working on arms and legs and accessories tonight. I think we're going to finish this kit tonight. If we don't finish it, we're going to get close. I do not have the tools for water slides tonight because I just don't have it in me to do it. And also, the regular face just works well enough that I was like, you know what? What if I didn't do that? And instead, I just built the kit as is, and I didn't add in water slides. Could we do it in the future? I don't fucking know. I mean, I got a ton of them here. I just, I thought about it, and I went, actually, no. What if no? What if I didn't? All right, let's see here. Check this out. Good. Okay. Yeah, all right. I think we're ready to go. This might be a chill Thursday. We might get a big boost eventually. But if it's a chill Thursday, it's a chill Thursday, and that's okay. I'm all right with that. Let's go to the overhead, and let's get into it. You can see here's Miorine, and you can see that Miorine has some eyes that were already on there. We didn't make any Miorine Monday jokes, did we? No, Lashbrook. On Monday, we did not make any Miorine Monday. And we might have made one Suletta Saturday joke when I built Suletta, but I don't remember. But it's the Witch from Mercury Thursday. Lord Crashman wants me to hit the dance button, and you know what? As I figure out how to build these arms, I will get the dance button going. Thank you for using your channel points for this. Missed opportunity. You're not wrong. Oh yeah. Get going in here, and then jingle bells, jingle bells. party. And then it fades away and it goes away forever. We don't think about it anymore. We don't acknowledge that it happens until the next time. And then we acknowledge it again. All right. There's some instructions here that are very tiny, some words written in English. They're very small that we'll take a look at there in a second. What's up for tonight? What are we going to do tonight? Well, in the second hour, of course, we'll talk about some anime. Then we'll talk about some video games, and I have thoughts on. I played a video game that I haven't played in a little while, and that was nice to get in there and play a little bit of that. So we'll talk about that. And in the first hour, I got some news, some stuff. I got big news and small news and weird news. Let's see. Small news. In order to promote the fact that A24 and Kojima Productions are partnering, because they're going to do a live action feature film based on Death Stranding. They're going to make a Death Stranding movie. A24 is going to make a Death Stranding movie. They put out a t-shirt. Spend $40. Oh, no, everything's sold out. So, yeah. I don't think they actually put out a t-shirt. Maybe they didn't do that. Did they just... Yeah, okay. I don't know if they actually made these shirts, but they did put a shirt on their website. Maybe they did. Maybe they sold out of all of them because people went bonkers for them. I don't know. I wonder who will play the Death Stranding characters. I mean, I'll tell you this. It most likely will not be the actors who are in the video game, because they probably cost too much to be in a movie. An A24 movie probably doesn't have the budget to pull those names in. Those people are slumming it for a video game. Some of which probably because they don't know the amount of, like, later negotiating to get more money for some of the motion capture shenanigans that they're involved in. But for the most part, a lot of them are taking a pay cut in order to make a cool video game. They might not be so interested in doing that for a movie. So I would say that it's going to be different. Oh, also, I don't think it's going to happen. Oh, I'll just say that. It takes so much work, time, energy, money, the wind blowing the right way, butterflies flapping their wings a little less than you would expect. All kinds of things go into making a movie. So many moving parts. Beyond the fact that the video game is nonsense. Like, I shouldn't have to say that. That's not a controversial, right? For me to say that Death Stranding doesn't make any sense and doesn't have a cohesive story. So, but does that stop people from making movies based on video games that have less of a cohesive plot? No. Could they possibly figure out something that would make sense and would be satisfactory for everyone involved? Yeah. I mean, maybe. Okay, so one of these is taller than the other. This one is the higher one. So that goes in this way then. Higher one is on the outside. There's very little difference between these two, it looks like. I may have done this wrong, but I think I did this right. It goes in like that. Then this goes in like that. Into that. I feel like if you make a movie with VG actors, why even make the movie? But also, why would you make the movie without those actors? Either way, I don't think anyone needs this. Yeah. I mean, look, you don't make the movie with the video game actors because it's the video game. The whole point of hiring voice actors is it doesn't matter who they are. It's about the voice and then what you do with the voices, right? Like that should be, at least in my opinion, one of the reasons why you can, the freedom of it, of just casting whomever. Whereas a movie, you kind of need to be a little specific on a bunch of things. But also, I don't think it'll exist. I think it'll be in development hell for a very long time, and then not come out. And someone years from now will joke about it and be like, oh yeah. Someone will be like, how much of that Death Stranding movie got made? And they'll be like, oh, I can't say that. But I can tell you that this, and this. And here's a funny story from that. If it never gets out of pre-production, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be shocked. One thing that is not getting out of pre-production, because it's not going into full production, although it probably was kind of. Hey, they were gonna make a Last of Us Online, and like they were gonna make a multiplayer instanced based, I believe, Last of Us game. The Last of Us Online, which I have Naughty Dog was planning on doing that. And a bunch of people were like, I guess psyched about that. But then they realized, apparently now, they didn't realize this sooner, apparently. It took them a long time to realize, like, oh, hey, everyone who works here would have to work on this game, and we would have to stop working on the other single-player games that we know make money. Naughty Dog is a studio that correctly realized that a always-on, several years of content roadmap game wouldn't be as big for them as a prestige single-player game. And they don't have the studio staff and support staff to do both at the same time, which is what you probably want. You'd probably want your weird offshoot thing to happen while you're doing your things that can keep a company together. So they're not going to do Last of Us Online. So a quote here that is interesting to me in this press release about what's going down here is, so they want us to do the right side and then the left side here. Okay, so this is the right arm. I'm going to put that there. We'll do the left arm now. Yeah, because I only... What? Oh, it goes on to the other page. I'm like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense because this is supposed to be like this. Arms go from one page to the other page. That's weird. I don't like it. So basically, they're like, in ramping up to full production, this is what I wanted to say about this. That was interesting to me, but I was still like, wait, what are we talking about here? What's going on with this? Sorry. In ramping up into full production, the massive scope of our ambition became clear. To release and support The Last of Us Online, we'd have to pull all our studio resources behind supporting post-launch content for years to come. Yeah, that's what happens when you do a game like that. Yes, you would have to do that. I don't know why it took ramping up production for you to remember a thing that everyone who does these kinds of games knows, and people that you paid money to tell you about these things told you, but okay. And it was severely impacting development on future single-player games. Yes, it would. So we have two paths in front of us: become a solely live service game studio, or continue to focus on single-player narrative games that have defined Naughty Dog's heritage. So, obviously, Naughty Dog has the backing of Sony, right? Sony wants those games to come to Sony platforms and be the big thing. They want that, right? Sony can make bets on other live service games from other game developers and have those game developers fuck up and fail. But they, at least right now anyway, would prefer if Naughty Dog didn't make a bet and that like didn't work out and fuck themselves over, thus fucking over everybody involved. And I think that makes sense and seems fairly reasonable. I'm saying this somewhat detached, as you may be able to tell, because I do not, I've never played a Last of Us game. got no real interest in. Don't really watch don't really watch people playing it. I'm not really into the streams. I'm not, I'm not heartbroken by this news. I'm sure there were people who were excited about it. I'm damn sure that there are people who were working on the game who were excited about it. They were excited about the process of making this game. And that's a shame. But I'm glad they figured this out now instead of figuring it out later that, oh wait, maybe this would be bad for us. Yeah, because obviously people have been working on it. Like they say, they're going from pre-production to post-production, going from pre into actual ramped production. That they've made certain, understood certain things by doing that, and like I definitely, feel for the folks that have done that work and will not continue to be able to do that work, because I think that's a shame. You want people passionate about a project to put a lot of time, effort into that project to be able to work on that game and see it to fruition, and they don't get to do that because of. But at the same time, as I said, does very much feel like the right call. It feels like the move to make here, so I can't be too mad about it. I'm not doing this right, and I don't know. People loved the multiplayer in the first game and hoped this would continue the legacy. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm sure there were people who are very unhappy about this because they really liked the multiplayer, and this was going to be their multiplayer game. This was whenever it came out, this was going to be the game for them, and they don't get that game. And yeah, I can see that being a bummer. This other arm is going to go together so nice and smooth because I'm going to figure out everything I'm doing wrong with this arm. By the time that comes, I think I have figured it out now. I think I finally figured it out. We do have to put on a sticker here. So we got a tiny sticker to put on. But yeah, I mean, that's basically the statement. They're just like, yeah, all right. We'll talk to you more about our next thing. Because they got more than one ambitious brand new single player game to work on. So, you hope that everybody who was part of this development process, pre-production, move over. It's going to be tough for people who were perceived to be the leads of this game, who were put in motion to be the leads because they have to figure out what they're doing next and all of that. And then there are also people who probably expected to move on to the next pre-production project, because there are people, like, obviously it's all a group effort and everybody works on things, but there are people who specialize in fleshing out ideas and doing that work, and who knows if 18 and 19, who knows if those people are now set in the lurch because now the company's going to pivot to stuff they're already working on, and then they have to wait for the next thing to move forward. I don't know. But good luck to all of them, because it's rough out there, obviously. Like it is rough out there for not the ESA. Not really. It's not really rough out there for the ESA. I mean, it is rough out there for the ESA, but that's not something that I particularly care about if it's rough out there for. Also, remaster of this new game to work on. Yes. Whatever game they're working on right now, they also should probably start working on the remaster of that game so that it's ready to come out within too soon of the first game coming out. Exactly. E3 is dead. Long live Summer Game Fest. Key 3 lives on. Now, I know I saw the snark or the just confusion. Wasn't E3 over? Didn't E3 already die? And the answer to that is yes and no and yes. There was, E3 has been canceled. The E3 did not happen last year. It was planned to come back, get psyched. E3 was coming back, baby. They're going to partner with Reed, the people that put on PAXs and Comic Cons, and like, get it. You know, Reed was going to make the part that they had been struggling to make work. Reed was going to make work. The whole part of like trying to make it Gamescom, where there were people there and not people that like snuck their way in through bullshit fake websites that didn't really exist or whatever nonsense people used to do, cool nonsense I should say, to be able to see some shit. You know, they were going to figure that out. They're going to make that work. And then they didn't. And then they were like, okay, well, we'll be back next year. We're going to revamp. We're going to refocus. And we're going to whip this thing's ass. And then they didn't. Because today they were like, or yesterday, or Tuesday, I should say. Tuesday, they were like, no, we're not doing it. E3 is done. Now, will something called E3 come back again? Yes, I fully believe that someone at some point will call a thing E3. Will it be any version of E3 that we think of? Maybe. Probably not, though. But someday somebody will make a thing and call it E3 because E3 will have nostalgia. Now, obviously, E3 has gone through several iterations. There was the Santa Monica year where they stripped it down and they did everything in like a big, like, they moved things and they tried to like move it into like hotels and really try to like minimize it. There were the glory days of E3, what people think about E3. There was the early days of E3 as, you know, as a trade show that had people coming to it, like, you know, the Atlanta E3, the many, many years in LA, the digital E3 where lots of people got fucking doxxed, which is great. I believe that was the digital year, but whatever, that also happened, where a lot of people got doxxed. And you know, so look, I am not here to tell you that E3 always sucked, because there are people that will say, good riddance, it sucked, it didn't make any sense to happen, it was never good. I'm not someone to say that. Do I think the last few years of actual E3 was an embarrassment? In some ways, yes. The idea that the solution to E3 was to have people there didn't make sense to me anyway, because, you know, the idea of it going from a trade show to a Gamescom where there are public days, and they didn't even do that really, but like the blend of it's an expo and a trade show and a future announcements with all of that, like that never really jived with me. It didn't quite make sense to me on that respect. But the real thing that always stood out to me with that was like when people are nostalgic for E3, they are nostalgic for their ideal version of E3. And I think that's fine and reasonable to be like that. I think that's okay to be like, yeah, I think of E3, I think of this. Because there were people who were like, oh, I wish I could have gone to E3. And when, in my opinion, when people say, oh, you know, I wish I think about that. I'm like, oh, it would have been neat to go to E3. What business would I have had at E3? Nothing. I would have gone, and if I had gone the last couple of years, I would have felt like, oh, you know what? I would rather go to a PAX. I've never been to a TwitchCon. I probably should just go to a TwitchCon. This isn't really doing anything for me. What am I doing here? Because I wouldn't be able to make appointments. I wouldn't be able to do anything. I would just be kind of like wandering around, waiting in long lines to play games that maybe I'm excited about, but maybe I'm not excited about. It probably would not have been anything for me to get uber psyched about. Because when I say, oh, you know, I kind of wish I had gone to E3, what I mean is, I wish I could have hung out in the green room during the week of Giant Bomb's, like, after dark, like the night shows. When Giant Bomb did their E3 shows, and, you know, I wouldn't have end up on the couches for anything. But I would try to get invited to hang out in the green room and then just talk shop with my friends and talk shit with my friends and hang out with the people that I like and acquaintances and get introduced to other people and do some networking and all of that nonsense. Because I'm not like if I went to E3, I'm not invited to parties. Like maybe I'd be invited to like an indie thing. I could get my name on a list for like some indie parties here and there. Just be like, hey, do you know anything like cool happening on Thursday? Let me know if there's something you get my name on. Let's whatever. Like I'll like whatever. Like maybe I can get into that. Maybe I can get into Day of the Devs. Something like that. Maybe, and all of that is like a maybe. I could figure out a way to make that work. Highly unlikely that I would be able to pull that stuff off. So mostly I would just be going to the show floor and kind of wandering around. And that's true for everyone that has waxed poetic that is not in the games press already. Like there are people who are like, yeah, I work for Kotaku and I never got to go to E3. Okay, yeah, that sucks. You work for Games Media, you work for IGN, you work for GameSpot, you never got to go to E3. Yeah, that sucks. But also the thing that you are nostalgic for is not the version of E3 that happens in E3 where you can record a podcast in a corner on the show floor is not the E3 you want to go to. And like I said, I think that Gamescom to a certain extent is what some people are looking for. I think TwitchCon is what a lot of people think of now when they're thinking of that kind of thing. PAX, and obviously they're not for press and all that. But the other thing, and the kind of the elephant in the room for all of this is that like the biggest companies just kind of fucking don't need it, and the small companies couldn't afford it anyway. And the developers that would go to E3 to smooth and hang out, well, now there's more of an incentive for them to go to GDC and DICE and kind of schmooze that way. And I'm sure there'll be more reporters going to GDC now to go to talks and stuff like that. I could see that happening and trying to get interviews. But most people, that work in games are just out there trying to run their own shows because people will show up for them, which is also part of the reason why E3 kind of fizzled, is because the biggest names didn't want to do it. They didn't want to pay for it. It cost too much damn money. They were just like, wait, what if I didn't fucking do that? What if I just did something that wasn't this? Oh yeah, that's an option. Here's an option for me. No. It's like, yeah, all right. Sure. I don't know. The ease and cost of hosting your own showcase at any point of the year kills the need for a big convention in LA when the public aspect of the show was never successful. That's the other thing, right? Like, the year that they were like, we're going to release some tickets, they should have partnered with an event company, right? Like, immediately you go, all right, we're going to do a public day, or we're going to do 2 public days. We're going to be Gamescom. We're going to do it. You hire, maybe you don't partner with Reed immediately, but you partner with fucking somebody. You almost immediately make a call and get something together, because the idea of just having like, oh, we'll put some seating over here and we'll turn this area into like a beer garden, and I guess I guess we should probably try to get some panels together and all that. It was just like, oh no, you actually have to do this if you're going to do this. And I think they realized that eventually, which is why they went with Reed. But also one of the reasons they went with Reed, in my opinion, I don't know this for a fact. I have not seen, because I haven't gone to a PAX, I've not seen Yug. I haven't seen Guy. I would love to hang out with Guy. Guy used to do stuff with Reed for PAX. Came in through the Australia show and then started doing more stuff. Then was coming back to Reed specifically for E3 and kind of running that part of the public-facing show. Um, and I would love to talk to him about all of that. We have not had the opportunity to do that. I would love to do it, and I hope we do get the chance to chat about that at some point, because I want to know. But my assumption is one of the reasons why you bring Reed in, that was the point I was going to make, is you bring Reed in because then you can use Reed Pop's connections with developers, publishers who are kind of on the outs with the idea of E3 and be like, well, we're running this part and we're expecting this amount of public people, and like, hey, we know that you've said that your dev cycle you don't enjoy. You can't make it out to PAX East when it's in March because of the devs, your current cycle of whatever. But this is the summer. This is E3, baby. Like, we're doing it. This is E3 and you together again. And kind of smooth. And it seemed like, again, I don't know. It seemed like not enough people bought that bit. They didn't buy into the bit. It's rough for, like, the people that do coverage, right? I think that's probably the thing. The influencers are always going to have things to influence. And actually, let's be real. Influencers don't want to go to E3. A thing that they don't want to say because they want to get invited to cool shit is that influencers don't want to take off time from streaming because their audience is fickle. And if they're gone for they miss a few streams because they went to a cool thing, then some of that audience doesn't come back. And they're terrified of that because it's how they earn their living. So there are some people who are just like, would never go to an E3. Like, what? You want to do a panel and meet like a very small portion of my audience? Nah. I'm just going to talk over the like footage. I'm going to like talk over footage of the event, and my audience is going to watch me do that. The death of Kenta Hall was death of E3 Soul. I mean, yeah, I won't argue with that. TGS and Gamescom have press and public days, but the ESA didn't do that, and it affects the show floor big time. So the ESA did have days where it was just press. They didn't do every day is a public day. But they didn't do enough for the public, and they didn't do enough to entice the people putting on together the booths to do their PAX setups or their Gamescom setups. They didn't do enough to entice anyone to do anything, and they just didn't do it. Now maybe the PAX year or not the PAX year, the Reed Pop year would have been vastly different and would have felt more like a balance between the two, but they just didn't get to do that. And I think it was too little too late when they decided that was the direction to go. But yeah, I mean, like, people that do coverage are bummed about it, right? Because that was a chance to, like, maybe your team is scattered throughout the country and you can get half your team together at E3 and get everybody together and get an Airbnb and cover the shows, and everybody goes on meetings, and you do some podcasts or live streams or whatever the fuck you're going to do to try to bring everybody together on that. And you can kind of get some stuff together, but like, and it makes a lot of sense to do that. But if you are not coverage, if you are if you're promotional, if you're a company that does, if your primary thing is promotional, like Kind of Funny, Kind of Funny is a vision where Greg would get hired to be the host of an award show there, or be panel hosts, and a couple other guys would go and do whatever. But they're not going to go there. But then most of their team probably just sits at their studio watching the press events and in and doing that. And they just send Greg to, because they're kind of an in between, just to host and do whatever. And he's not there catching interviews and getting scoops. He's there because somebody's got to fucking be around to take a couple meetings with some people and get set up for the next like thing that they're doing, where they're all going to wear Ghostbuster uniforms to talk about the new Ghostbusters game because Greg's got a voice as an extra in it or whatever. And they want to have lunch to talk about it. So they're going to go do that. But that's not but that also can just fucking happen and doesn't need E3 for. Because all that stuff just happens on Zoom now when they need to get face to face. Yeah. So the industry changed, the coverage changed, the style of coverage changed, and E3 didn't change. And then when they got ramped up to maybe change, it was too late. I think that is the big takeaway, is that it is like too little too late for E3. So pour one out. We still have Summer Game Mess. We'll continue. Yeah, the Summer Games Festival will happen. People will do their own thing. People will jump on other things. There will be a bunch of people during that going, I miss E3, and also, why does this even happen? And I don't miss any of that, and whatever. People have their opinions about what they do miss and don't miss, and it'll all be fine. And I have to apply a very tiny sticker again. I don't like that. I'll probably do that first. Let me put that here. But yeah, again, I never made it. But if I was going to pick a convention to go to, or an expo or something, it wouldn't be that. If given the opportunity, if they were like, okay, Pat, you can go to one gaming thing this year you've never been to. I mean, I would probably, the smart money would be I would pick a TwitchCon, because I have not been to a TwitchCon, because I could maybe get in on some panels with some people or whatever, and hang out and do some nonsense with people who are more famous than me within this larger community. But honestly, if they said like, hey, you can go to any convention you've ever been to that's video game related, I would go to TGS, because then I would be going to fucking Japan, and that's the best way to go. And then I would like not go to TGS the whole time, and I would go see wrestling in Tokyo as well. I went in 2005 and 2006 as Lord Crashing's in, which were probably great years to go. You got an N-Gage medal if you need to know what that era was. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, like the 2000s sounds about right. Yeah. That sounds about right to go. Some nonsense. But yeah, I never made it out. I also don't really want to go to a TwitchCon, but I think it would be good to go to. You know, I'm not an affiliate. I'm an affiliate. I'm not a partner. I'm not going to be able... They wouldn't be setting me up with anything cool or anything like that. But like, maybe kind of fun. Kind of fun to go and do. That's basically how I feel about it. Like, oh, that'd be kind of fun. Lester says, yeah, one of these years I want to go to Wrestle Kingdom. Fuck yeah, Wrestle Kingdom. I hear you, buddy. I mean, I want to go to Shinjuku Face. Shinjuku Face. I want to go to Face, which is a like a third or fifth floor walk up black box space with a bar that wrestling happens at. I want to see some gringy, grimy wrestling in Face. G1, yeah, I mean, like, I would go and see some New Japan, but I would want to see a lot of Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, like, because turns out that's my favorite wrestling promotion is Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. I watched Yuka Sakazaki's graduation show, which happened on Wednesday, but last Wednesday, but then didn't go up until this week on Wrestle Universe. And yeah, it turns out, get lucky and see some DDT. Yes, I mean, also DDT would be fun. I would love to see an outdoor weird DDT show. I have seen DDT. Here's the thing. I have seen DDT versus 2 occasions in the United States. One of which was the best of the two, which was DDT versus Kaiju Big Batal, which was gorgeous and weird and silly and fun, and in a venue that normally houses comedy shows, so fucking ruled. It just whipped ass. Dr. Cube driving a U-Haul almost into a wrestler on purpose in kayfabe, almost into a wrestler. Good nonsense. But I would like to see a full DDT show in Japan. That would be kick ass. But yeah, I mean, I like to go to Japan. I like to see some of the wrestle if I could. Speaking of the wrestle, we'll jump in here. We got a little time here. I am not going to see this live tomorrow. Lester says I went to that G1 opener they had in Dallas years back. You saw Okada versus Tanahashi live. Don't know if a G1 finals would top it for me. I mean, after that, that makes sense. You saw a pretty fucking good one, my friend. So yeah, I get that. Final battle, Ring of Honor's final battle. And if you're like Pat, I miss Ring of Honor. I don't really see it that much, and I don't have Honor Club, so. But I don't really want to pay for a full pay-per-view. Well, don't worry. If you want to see Final Battle tomorrow, all you need to do is sign up for Honor Club. Honor Club is the subscription service where you get a 1 weekly episode of that and their archives. But you also get Final Battle for just the subscription cost. So if you want to watch that, you can. And there are going to be some good matches. Here's the thing. They added an incredible match that has really nothing to fucking do with Ring of Honor, but it is a match that I wish I could see live, which recently answered for the AAA Mega Championship. The champion, Vikingo, will face off against the challenger, Black Taurus. And holy fucking shit, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that very much if I could. This is supposed to be 19. Pulled off the wrong one there. If I could see that, I would be very pleased. Like, that would be fucking incredible to see. Vikingo versus Black Taurus, that's going to whip ass. That has nothing to do with Ring of Honor, but it is cool booking. The main event, they had Evil Uno versus Eddie Kingston on Ring of Honor today, I think. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I haven't watched that. I haven't watched that because I don't have it right now. I will at some point because I'm going to want to watch this, so then I'll get that. What am I fucking doing wrong here? A18 and A19. A18 and A19. Sorry, I'm like, why is this hand not connecting? There we go. That did it. I don't know why that wasn't working, but it wasn't. And then one goes into this, one goes to that. The main event is going to be Athena versus Billy Starks. This storyline is the best thing in Ring of Honor that has been building and building and building. It is fucking fantastic. Billy Starks is a babyface, 18 years old, very talented, nonsense person to be doing what she's doing. Athena has been their heel, greatest women's champion in Ring of Honor history. Just like holding the fucking company up on her shoulders because everyone else who is a champion either doesn't get fucking booked or doesn't appear on Ring of Honor. Eddie Kingston's the world champion. He put up the world title in kayfabe, of course. He put the world title up just for shits and giggles in a tournament. He's been on AEW TV. He showed up, I guess, tonight, but whatever. The Ring of Honor tag champions, they're not defending their title. They have never appeared on Ring of Honor in this incarnation. The trios champions are in Japan right now, I believe. Yeah, because they're not competing. 2/3 of the trios champions are in Japan doing a thing for a different promotion, which is cool. Don't get me wrong, but still. Their world television champion, the longest running world television champion, defended the title on AEW television and then said, actually, I don't want this. And then gave it up. That was their... Samoa Joe could have just fucking lost to Keith Lee in that match. And instead won and then gave up the belt anyway. Well, then why'd you fucking defend it? Still makes me mad. Still makes me mad. And then, so there's going to be a 6-way fight. Dalton Castle, Commander, Kyle Fletcher, Lee Johnson, Lee Moriarty, got 2 Lees in there, and TBD. I would say you put the belt on Dalton Castle because Dalton Castle fucking whips ass and is very cool and can talk on the mic and is very flamboyant and fabulous and fantastic. And also just a fucking great wrestler. That sometimes people forget that shit, but he's also just a talented wrestler. Or Lee Moriarty, who is really too good for Ring of Honor and should be featured heavily on EW's television. But that would be fucking great for Lee Moriarty. But it'll probably be the TBD person who will probably be a Ring of Honor signing in a feel-good moment. That's my guess. That's my uneducated guess because I don't know who they're going to get. Keith Lee versus Shane Taylor, a match that I do not give a shit about. I hate that AEW makes me not care about what's going on with Keith Lee, one of my favorite wrestlers. I love Keith Lee. I do not give a shit about what Keith Lee is doing in Ring of Honor. I do not care about him and Shane Taylor. I thought that this fucking beef had got squashed. It has not. Oh, you know what? You know who I want? I want in the 6-person fight, I want it to be Christopher Daniels. And I want Christopher Daniels to win. Because it would be fucking cool if Christopher Daniels was the TV champion. We've got Ethan Page versus Tony Nese with Smart Mark Sterling in an I Quit match. They've been feuding. Ethan Page is way too good for this weird shit in Ring of Honor. I know Eddie versus Ethan was good, but I think it is a weird use of Ethan Page. I think lots of Ring of Honor is just a weird use of blank. So I would love for, Ethan Page, I guess. I don't know. Tony Nese, perfectly fine there. I don't give a shit about Tony Nese and his Tony Nese. FTR, Cash Wheeler, Dax Harwood, and Mark Briscoe versus Blackpool Combat Club. Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, and Claudio Castagnoli in the Jay Briscoe Memorial Fight Without Honor. So there's no handshake for this match. Obviously, it's a feel-good match. It fucking is cool that Bryan Danielson is going to be on a... Wait. Is that going to be World... Wait a minute. Is that World's End? There's a match that's not on here. Give me a second here. World's End AEW. Sorry. I just have to see if that was added to World's End. Because I thought this was a Ring of Honor match. But I guess it's a World... Is it... No, it's not listed anywhere. Okay. Not listed on this, so maybe it's not booked, is I'll get to that in a second. We'll talk about the FTR. FTR and Briscoe. It's the Jay Briscoe Memorial Fight Without Honor. I think that ends with some handshakes and some good vibes. I think this ends with Mark Briscoe pinning Claudio Castagnoli. It would be fucking interesting if Bryan Danielson pinned Mark Briscoe and that's how it ended. I don't think they're going to do that, but I do think that's an interesting way to go. But I think that'll be a good match. Those are solid workers. And Mark fucking whips ass, so sure. The match that is not listed here that I'm now wondering if I thought that Hook versus Wheeler Yuta versus Hook. I thought that was going to be on this show. I really did thought that was going to be on this, and it was going to be an FTW rules match. I thought that challenge got made. I thought that was happening. I guess I'm wrong about that. I'm just going to Hook versus Wheeler. Okay, Hook to FT match. Okay, no, it's going to... Oh, my apologies, friends. Yeah, that challenge happened. Did that happen on Kali? Okay, yeah, all right. Okay, so that challenge got made, but they haven't confirmed it. That's my fault, friends. I apologize. I thought for sure they were setting up a match because that means that Wheeler Yuta was next to Bryan Danielson when he said it's going to be 3 of us versus you 3. And the 3 of us is not Wheeler Yuta, and that made me laugh very much because people were like, "Oh, okay, so Bryan Danielson won't do it." Yuta is facing Tom Lawler at Final Battle. That doesn't. Okay, so I guess that's going to be World's End. They'll do the FTW match. I guess. Why does this not want to come together? Did I fuck this up? Or I might have. I'm thinking this leg. I might knee connection here. I'm like, maybe I fucked this up because this whole segment doesn't want to go together properly, but we'll see. Well, that's disappointing. I don't give a shit about Wheeler Yuta versus Tom Lawler because I don't think that's nothing to me. I guess maybe that's getting set up and hasn't been updated on there, but all right, let me figure this out here. This goes in like this. This goes in like that. And then let me make sure. Is this actually B7? Did I get the right piece? This is. Okay. So then this should just fit in right here. And then it doesn't. And then I get mad. And I'm like, what the fuck? What are we even doing here? What? And then I just start disassembling more of it because I'm like, well, nope, this is in right. This all seems right. It's just this piece is being a jerk. I got no time for that. Anyway, I'm not going to watch Final Battle live, just like I am not currently, because I am streaming with you. I am not currently watching Combat Princess, Prestige Wrestling versus Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. That's right. Some Tokyo Joshi Pro wrestlers are in LA right now, wrestling very soon. I did purchase it on Wrestle Universe, and I will be watching it. But right now, I'm streaming, so I'm going to watch that on Sunday. I might watch it tonight, but I'm going to watch it on Sunday with friends because that's our standing thing. Okay, I am taking this apart here. This piece is in right. I know this piece is incorrect, is in properly, I should say. We're going to double check that this is C10 because this should be C10. It is, that's C10 and C9. Always try to double check that when things don't fit quite right. And then this is on this side. This is on this side. So we just kind of see if I can... Okay, so it's going to go like that. Maybe we'll try to connect it the other way, See if I can get that going. There we go. Okay, I did it a bit reverse as how they wanted me to do it. They wanted me to connect one piece into one side and I went on the other side, and then it just kind of worked. It might have worked another time, but I did get it though, and I will take that as a moral victory. We did it, everybody. If you're still playing The Crew, Ubisoft's 2014 video game The Crew, you can no longer buy it, but you're playing it. And the servers are going down next year. And I think for a game that came out in 2000, look, do I want servers to exist for video games in perpetuity? A little bit. I think that's unrealistic. I don't necessarily like to see games get delisted. I think that's a shame because it makes it very difficult to find those games in the future if they're not available for purchase. So I'm not particularly thrilled about that. Especially if there is, if you can play it offline, then maybe if you can host your own servers, maybe, I don't know. But it is always kind of a weird thing. I mean, the question is how many people were still playing it? Why hadn't it been shut down sooner? If it's going to, is it right to say 10 years is surprising that for a game to, being out for 10 years before it went away? Is that surprising or shocking? Should we be like, oh, thanks Ubisoft for keeping that? The game should have an offline means of playing. Yes, I mean that's the thing, right? It should, and if it doesn't, people will figure out a way, right? If it's an online only racing, multiplayer racing only, or one of those weird games where even though there's a single player component, you have to have active internet connection for it to work, that kind of bullshit. People will find a way. Also, people will find a way to keep playing it online. That is a thing that can't be overstated, is that people will still find a way to make the shit work. If Ubisoft is not going to do it, somebody else will fucking do it. They will have a way for people that want to get in on that shit to be able to, get in on that shit. I need 24. Working on our legs. This young lady needs legs, and we're going to give her legs so Miorine can stand. Stand up and be held accountable for her terrible deals she made. Is this right? No, let's go like that. Yeah. That doesn't look right. That looks wrong. Yeah, okay. So, I did something wrong with the leg here. Oh, okay. This needs to go like that. And then this goes like that. There we go. And that goes like that. All right, great. I got it. I figured out how the leg should look. And then we'll panel line the right leg here. Just give it a little bit of black marker to make it shine a little bit. And then we also we gotta build the foot here. And apparently we have two different options. We've got boots and we've got, I don't know if that's stockings or whatever. Just, I don't know. I haven't looked at it yet, but there's a different option here for the legs if we want it. Is this how the leg? This doesn't look right. Kind of looks right. Sorry. Does that look right? No, that doesn't look right either. Well, maybe it does. Oh, no, that does look right. Okay. Yeah, that looks right. Sorry. Yeah. Always keeping me on my toes. Ha 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 ha. We'll build both feet and then give ourselves an option. We'll look at it. And then the other, we'll just do however we need to do it. I'm going to take a pause for the cause. If you are new to the stream, that's impossible because I believe I know everyone who is watching right now. But anyway, if you're watching this later on the VOD or you are new, welcome. I'm going to talk about ways you can support the channel. Everything I'm about to say now is optional. You are under no obligation to help me out in any way and do any of this, but if you'd like to, that'd be great. I'm going to throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 Blue emote in the chat if you're currently a subscriber. Why don't you put those emotes in the chat? Let the people know being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. Because if you have Amazon Prime, you link it with your Twitch, you get that token. You can use it for someone, use it for me, or Cash Money if you want to do that. We are currently at 41 out of 50 subscribers. The goal was to get to 50. I shut up at 50. There is a bonus promotion happening right now, a bonus promotion where right now through January 2nd, new subscribers, 25% off, and then 25% off gifted subs from December 20th to January 22nd, so not right now, and from now till December 20th, 300 or more bits adds in bonus bits. So if you donate 300 bits to me or give me 300 bits, Twitch jumps in with some more. And that's neat. And then there's also like some new hype train stuff. I don't know. But that's a new thing that's happening. Those are two ways to support me. You could join the gift sub leaderboard if you gifted a sub like Aristfan and Umjan. Or you could cheer like Harold did and, cheer 300 and more. And your bonuses come in and it's cool. That's not the only way to support me. That's all through Twitch, which is good to do. But there's also my Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. There's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for different tiers. Consider joining my Patreon. And then tomorrow, if you join my Patreon today, tomorrow you're going to get an email that everybody, my Patreon gets before everybody else gets it, with my schedule for December. So you'll know what my streams are, what my bonus streams are, my Tuesday gaming streams are going to be, what I'm doing this month. You'll get that information tomorrow before other people get it. Pretty cool. What else? That actually reminds me that I do need to update that stuff. I got to go in there and update those things. So let me get that. I'm just going to open up that document so that I remember that I need to edit that document because I haven't done that yet. That's just for me. What else? That's Patreon. I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. There's a subscribing there is free. I post videos a lot. You'd like them. They're fun. Also, when you're over there, if you want to, you become a member. $2 a month. You get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. You get a message with them. You get to go to the unlisted video, and you get to watch them early. World premieres. Previews, I guess I should say. Not world preview, not world premiere. Those are monthly ways to support me. You could do a one-time donation. If you just want to, help me out, you could do that. A one-time benefit from Ko-fi or PayPal. Everything I make through direct donations, through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos, from Patreon, and through Twitch, all goes into a fund. And with money from that fund, I buy model kits. I got a backlog of kits. I got so many kits. I don't have them. Actually, legitimately, I don't have that many kits. But the next time I get paid for one of these things, I am going to, a good portion of that is going into restocking. Going to restock the shelves. It'll be good. The kit I'm currently working on, Miorine. Miorine came from someone who was demanded to be anonymous. Bought this off my Amazon wish list. So I'm working on right now. I made a dedicated YouTube video about that thing. It jumped the queue instead of the stuff I have in my backlog. I was like, nope, I'm working on this. I'm getting this going because you paid for it. If you want to do that as well, maybe you got some Christmas money burning a hole in your pocket and you want to spend it on a streamer you like, me. You could buy something from my wish list, which would be a Merry Christmas to me. Model kits, Lego sets, inexpensive kits, very expensive kits, kits that seem to go on sale all the time, kits that are never on sale. I put some stuff on there pretty recently. A few things have dropped in price, which is excellent. Got some weird stuff in there. Got some good stuff in there. Got some expensive things in there. And yes, I will next year be making some big money purchases on some kits that are very expensive. I don't know which one. I most likely will do a poll, but I will buy an expensive model kit next year and then build that on stream. Because I do that every year, and it's fun to do. I think that's it for that. My alternative to Amazon is that I have a throne wish list. So see if there's something there you would like to, if you don't want to use Amazon, but you still want to buy something for me to build on stream, or some gear. Gear is nice. You can go to my Amazon wish list. See if that's something you want to do. And then you could always go to USA Gundam Store if you want to support me financially in the most convoluted way possible. You go to USA Gundam Store. You buy a gift card there. They send you an email with the gift card code. You then send me a whisper on Twitch here or a DM on Twitter, because my DMs are open, with that gift card code. And then I will use that money to buy something for USA Gundam Store. And you can also make a suggestion, or you can just, say whatever, Pat. And I'll just buy something that I think is neat on USA Gundam Store. Those are options. If you want to support me without spending any money, join my Discord. My Discord is full of lovely people. It's a good time over there on the Discord. I will have a new episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club up on Monday. My top 10 for 2023, including a post on co-host, which will be the same. The little link up. It will be the article will be there on co-host. Synergy. That's coming up on Monday. The most recent Pat Bear's Anime Club that's up is my end of the year awards, my 2023 anime awards. If you want to know what anime I decided has the best vending machine, you got to watch that video, and then you'll find out what's the best vending machine, Pat. I'll tell you in anime in 2023. Or you'll find out which anime I think is an anime, because there was some debate about if an anime was an anime. And I rant a little bit. It's fun. And then Baerly Rehearsed is an ongoing video series where every week I write and perform a piece of comedy that I rehearsed. It is barely rehearsed, but it is rehearsed. This one is the 50th of 52, because I'm doing 52 of these. It's a year-long project. This is number 50, and it's one of my favorites. It is the return of Danny Local, a character that I created because I love the idea of something called the local news, but it's just news about a guy whose last name is Local. It's Danny Local making a news program for, I don't know who the target audience would be, but it's just a kind of sad guy, a guy just an everyman making a news video, and it's all the segments are Danny Local. That's the joke. Please watch it. I got meta in this one. I was writing it, and then I was putting it together, and I'm like, oh, I'm missing something. I need something in here. And I came up with an idea that I think is pretty funny. It's meta in two different ways. I will ruin one of them. I won't tell you the other part of it. I'll tell you one part right now to entice you to watch that video, please. At one point, I use a program to... I don't have a green screen. You can see right here. I don't have a green screen. But there are programs that will try to make the background disappear so you can have an image behind you, right? And it doesn't work great, but it can do it. Well, what if, instead of having a green screen, you use an image of a green screen or a green painted wall? So I have a person standing in front of a green wall as if he's just live. And I think that's very funny and dumb. And I did that. And so that's a little meta. And then also there's another part of that segment that's meta. Watch it. It's one of my favorite Baerly Rehearsed. I say that a lot, but it's true when I say it. And this one is one of the better ones that I've done. All right. So the next step is I'm done promoting myself. Also, oh, sorry. If you're not following, I'm not saying this enough because it's not going to happen by 2024, and I'm annoyed it won't. Statistically, it won't happen. I am currently at 1,990 followers on Twitch. 1,990 followers. I would like to get to 2,000 because that feels like something. If you're not already following the channel, I should say, please consider following the channel here, twitch.tv/PatBear. If you're watching this right now, watching this later on a VOD, click the follow button. I'm so close to 2,000. All right, let's get back to, we're going to talk about some anime. I'm going to drink some water because I am in desperate need of water. And then we'll talk about some anime and then talk about some video games and things. Before I do that, I need to dramatically transition back to the overhead so that we can work on this leg. Get this leg together right now. Oh, we dropped down to 40, huh? All right, well, we're at 40 subscribers. The goal is 50. Whatever. Anyway, anime. We're talking about some anime, and I'm going to panel line this leg, and then I'm going to build 2 different feet, and then decide which of these 2 feet I want to use, and then the other one I'll probably build as well, because maybe I'll change my mind later. Helck, episode 23 of 24. We are almost done with Helck. At this point, it is an obligation to see this through. And a thing I assumed was going to happen is going to happen in the next episode. We're teasing it in this one. If you haven't been watching Helck, it started off funny, then it got deadly serious, and it's been deadly serious. It was fun a little bit. I wouldn't call it funny in this one, but it was fun. Anyway, we got a human. He's fighting humans with the demons. That some of the humans have turned into monsters. Helck could probably turn into a monster at any point, and people are worried about that. That's the underlying problem with this episode. We got Helck, and Helck not in the last episode really at all. So nice to have Helck here, the main character, the titular Helck. Helck and Vermilio are like kind of talking, and basically Vermilio's like, hey, I know you want to defeat the king, but even if you defeat the human's king, that's not necessarily going to end the war. There's a lot of prejudices. There are all these monsters, are these humans that were turned into kind of like weird, like mind-controlled monsters. And he's just like, yeah, look, I will defeat them. These mutated humans, like I am mentally prepared to make that happen. And it's a nice little moment. They're going to go out there, and then we have the scouting team member shows up and is just like, hey, from the demons, like, don't go to the next castle. A bunch of winged knights showed up to attack it, so like, don't worry about it. And that is Rafid is the person there, and he's like, oh yeah, Rafid is the person that led the attack, because he's looking for Helck. Like, Vermilia's like, okay, they're looking for you, and she's like, her hypothesis, based on a good amount of evidence, like, honestly, is like, okay, I think they're trying to enrage you because they want to turn you into a mindless force of destruction, which, obviously would be bad, because that way he'll be attacking regular humans, he'll be attacking demons, and it'll be good for everybody except for obviously the people that we like in the story. But our boy's like, no, I think it'll be okay. Then we have a flashback with Rafid and Miracos discussing right before the warp gate. They were talking, and he's like, hey, telling Rafid, like, just basically like, he is dangerous. He's more dangerous than just about anybody else. He shouldn't be taken lightly. Uh, can't you can't you can't assume that we're going to be able to handle him, which I believe to be pretty accurate. Seems very accurate to me to say that about Helck. And he's like, you should take that female knight. You take her with you, and we don't know who this female knight is, but we can gather that probably this female knight is Alicia from the flashbacks, who we saw a lot of in the flashbacks. We can assume that's Felicia, or Alicia, not Felicia. We can assume that is Alicia, because how could it not be at this point? I don't think that in episode 24, which will be next week, they're going to introduce a new female character suddenly out of nowhere. I assume that is the woman that basically he left behind to die in order to be able to escape. That she wanted him to do that. So we'll see. Helck and Rafid meet up. Rafid tells Helck, like, hey, I'm going to give you a chance. If you just want to go, you can just go. Like, we won't stop you if you want to flee. But then they engage in battle. Vermilio takes on Rafid because they're like, something is coming. And that something turns out to be, of course, that female knight. And she fires an arrow at Helck, and that's the cliffhanger to the finale. I am a broken record on this, but I feel like I got served a bill of goods. So part of me also says, this is one of like two shows that it's the only one I'm covering weekly from High Dive. And it's one of only two shows that I'm watching on High Dive. And as I said, I am pot committed. That is a fallacy. I should have quit before the flashback started, but definitely once the flashback started. And it was very clear that any sense of fun and humor this show had was out the window and would not return. And even though there are some moments that are pretty light and fun, overall, the shit's dire in this particular story. But even with all of that, at this point now, I just kind of want to see it through. And I've already told you 23 episodes of the show. So I decided that I'm going to finish the fight. And next week, the shocking conclusion of Helck Season 1. Will everything get resolved? Probably not. But will it be some sort of resolution in some way? I imagine there'll be something. On the brighter side, we had episode 10 of 12 in Bullbuster. I am still a week behind on Bullbuster. I thought this week I would get caught up. That did not happen. Maybe next week I'll be caught up for the stream. Bullbuster is the story of a small company that has been tasked with keeping a secret. They're trying to take back an island that got overrun by weird monsters. They use cool machinery, cool mechs that are cool mechs that are like modified construction equipment. We got introduced to the Bull Diver recently, which is their aquatic one, but it's the Bullbuster and the Bulldozer, and then it is really about a small little business trying to make it in the world, and occasionally kooky hijinks, but mostly lots of shenanigans, and then also sometimes there are monsters that show up. But really, we found out, hey, it turns out the company that was trying to merge with them and take them over to help them out is Shouta Chemical. Their chemicals in the lake in the middle of this island, they're basically making nanomachines, and their nanomachines are causing mutations. They're not actually nanomachines, but they're nanomugenic something or others. You know, there's some nonsense with that. But basically, it turns out the chemical company is the people responsible for this. And part of it is they're going to try to take the mechs and shut down this whole thing. Tajima returns with the stolen data from Shoto Chemical. Basically, he's got the data that proves that they're responsible for all this because they are thinking of trying to go public with this because right now people don't know what's going on in that island. So they're going to try to maybe blow the whistle on what's going on here. Rashizu is basically like, hey, I'm not going to punish Nanodyne for this, but we're definitely like, hey, we can wrap this up. We can fix this problem, but we're definitely not going to try to take responsibility for the giant beasts. No. And then everyone in Namodam, the company is really low because everyone knows that this merger is just part of the company's plan to like restrict everybody's freedom, and they won't be able to investigate the source or try to, you know, do anything. Like basically their hands are going to be completely tied at this point, and a cover up is basically going to happen. And so everyone is understandably bummed out about all of that. Tajima decides Tajima's like the leader there, like, okay, it's time for me I've been trying to keep this business afloat, and it's time for me to step up and do what's responsible and what's right. So he is going to accept the divorce. This was kind of like a subplot that's been happening for a while, is that his wife has been trying to get a divorce. Before I continue here, I think boots. I think stockinged feet is too much, right? I'm gonna go with boots. We'll build the feet, but I think we should go with the boots. If you have a strong opinion on that, feel free to sound off in the chat. But I'm thinking I'm just gonna go with the boots here. I don't think I want to do the alternative of the stockinged feet. Well, so it's stockings. They're not bare feet because it's not the same color as the hands. So it's the same color as the leggings. So it's leggings or stockinged feet, and it is weird that that's an option. Yes, Lord Crashington, she's gonna get a second leg. Obviously, I'm gonna give her 2 legs, but I just wanted to know if anybody was like, "Oh no, you got to go with that because of this scene and all that." I'm like, which I don't think we really need to do. So we're gonna go with that. Shoeless just isn't as good. Yes, you're right. Good a term. Okay, so gonna move forward. He gets a divorce from accepts the divorce. He's going to secretly he copied the stolen data. The stolen data they gave back, he copied it, and he's going to try to release it to the public so that an investigation is forced to happen. He's going to try to get an investigation to go and just take the fall for whatever comes. All right, let's see if I can get this. Let's see if I can get this attached the right way this time, knowing that I was having so much trouble with this the last time with this part of the pant here. Let's see if this side is a lot easier than the other. It is. It is instantly. Oh, well, not instantly. Well, that's not connected, right? I was going to say, it instantly worked. It didn't. That's a lie. That's a lie. It didn't instantly work. There it is, though. Yep, that took way less time than the previous attempts. So that's always nice. Okay. Let's see. He learns that Okino and Arumi and Muto and Shirogane, and basically like all the new people and the intern and all that, they they're going to put their own plan in motion, which is a live stream into the lake because they want to get public attention and support. So they're, even though the boss was like, all right, I'm going to do this and I'll take the bullet, they're like, no, we're going to do this. Because they're basically like, they don't know that he has they think he gave over the stolen data. And so like, all right, well, we're going to do this plan. Basically like higher ups are like, you got to stop this. And then, Tajima, Tajima, who is like the guy that would be the main character if Okina wasn't the main character, is like, well, my employees did this before I could, huh? All right, okay. So he's going to defy that order, and then he's declaring that Namodome will not merge with Shioda Chemical. So, no monsters in this episode, no cool robots, none of the mechs. So in some ways you could say that this was a bad episode, but it was a fun episode in that it was like character motivations going and some payoffs, and then like a couple surprises for a few characters you wouldn't necessarily think would be on board for shenanigans that is afoot. We got 2 more episodes of the show. It really is one of my favorite shows this season. I was very surprised about that. You do have to get over the fact that the mechs are CGI and the all the other characters are digital, and that is handled fairly well, but could be handled way better. They don't nail it. They as well as they could, but it's it's still fine. Now is the part of the stream where I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What do you got going on? While you do that, I'll say thank you to everybody that showed up for me playing Hearthstone on Tuesday. I have not played Hearthstone on stream since I think February or maybe June, but definitely February. I know I did. It's been a while. And we had a good turnout for that. So that was really nice. Thank you for everybody that hung out for that. Appreciate it. Well, I'll give you a chance to write in the chat if you've been playing any video games or watching any movies or watching any TV stuff or watching sports or wrestling or whatever. So I'm doing that. Also, today, a update came out for the PC, PS5, and Xbox versions of Power Wash Simulator. Unfortunately, not out for the Switch version. And it is a new area. And a very fucking fun. It is Santa's Workshop, and it is an indoor location that is fucking filthy. It is deranged in there, the amount of muck and spray paint and nonsense going on in Santa's Workshop. I think I'm about a quarter way through because I only played a little bit of today because it was a surprise and I didn't have a lot of time, but I did want to get some in. I don't expect to stream that. I'll probably show it the next expansion. So maybe like either the next free update or the Warhammer 40,000 update. I'll also be like, oh, and also this is here. Because it's neat. And so, but I will finish it on my own time. I just haven't finished it. And like I said, I don't plan on streaming it, but I did do it. So, or I am doing it. And that's fun. That's been nice. My Tuesday stream will be my Tuesday stream will be Persona 4 Golden with Mods Christmas edition. So to celebrate the Christmas holiday, we'll go into Persona 4 Golden with some mods. I am currently looking up some of the new mods because I do have some new mods that I wanted to share with y'all here. Which is good because we last did it on Halloween, and but since then there have been a couple mods that we can talk about here as I give people a chance to write some stuff in the chat if they've been doing anything. I got an update for one of the mods. And as always, Some of these mods we won't ever see. You might not see while I'm playing, but they're new, and that's pretty cool. Like read in the library. You can, during the day, go to the library at school and read any of the books that you have at home. So if there's a day where you have nothing to do, you don't have any social links, you don't want to go and do anything, it's like especially if it's like a rainy day or something, where the only thing you can really do is like go home if that comes up. Instead of that, you can go to the library and read and pass time that way, which is a fun little feature in the mod. Experience share is a big one. Experience share is really big. It gives inactive party members and personas experience. So the party members that are not in there can still get some experience, which if I was going to do another playthrough, this would be incredible. Right now, we're not at endgame, but we're close to endgame because the stream I'm going to be doing on Tuesday is we're going to beat the main protagonist, not the final thing that we got to do in the game, but one of the final things we got to do in the game. We'll take care of on Tuesday's stream. So we really don't need to share experience anymore. Like, obviously, it's not super necessary, but it is a cool mod. So I was like, oh, that's fun. And then the other mod that we will talk about, or that is very cool, again, I don't think we're going to get to, but is neat, is restored Margaret voice lines. There is we won't get to it because Margaret's dungeon is in New Game Plus. You can't do Margaret's dungeon until you play New Game Plus, so we can't do it here. But basically, Persona 4, there were some lines that referenced Persona 3, and then in Persona 4 Golden, they took those lines out. So because it's still the same voice actress between the two, this mod just restores those lines. Which I think is totally reasonable and totally fine. And again, so two of these mods don't do anything for our purposes because I have read every book in the game, so I don't need to do that. We might do it just because there might be a day where I don't have anything to do and we'll just go and read. Yeah, the main thing for that is just like, okay, I think we'll just like know that they're in there. And experience share is a big deal, and that will be cool. It doesn't really affect us right now, but it is a neat thing that it's going to be in there. And I'll keep my eyes peeled for more mods for we're down to 39. Okay, we are now down to 39 out of 50. It's all right, it happens. But I will keep my my eyes peeled for more mods over at Game Banana, which is where a lot of people are posting their mods that use the reloaded. I don't know how to call it, but yeah, they use the reloaded system in order to get those in. And of course, we have plenty of mods. And I actually think that we have a mod that I've never even talked about. Maybe I'll talk about that. Hatless Naoto. Basically, Naoto doesn't wear a hat when she walks around in game. We took the hat out because that is an optional thing you can do eventually, but it's always in the code. So somebody made a mod that just basically says, "Oh no, she's got a hat. She doesn't have a hat." Lastbrook said, "I beat my first Steam World build campaign, and that game has a good hook to explain you infinitely replaying it like you would in those types of games." That's fun. I'm glad you're having a good time with the Steam World build, enough that you finished it, and that's cool. The explanation of why you'd be replaying it, that's awesome that that's in there. It feels like something they didn't have to do, but it is cool that they did it. Lord Crashton says, "I'm rewatching some Brooklyn Nine-Nine in the wake of Andre Braugher's passing this week. Great actor in person, from what I've read." Yes, never met him in person, but know a lot of people that had very good things to say. A couple of my friends have written on Brooklyn 999 or Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I want to say 999. Have written for Brooklyn Nine-Nine and had very nice things to say about him. I know one of the person that wrote the cold open. I Want It That Way bit. But yeah, I know a few people that have worked on that show, and they had very nice things to say about him. Let's see. Lord Christian says, also been watching the late 80s Columbo episodes, and boy, does the visual style change a lot, and 11 years later, still good. Yeah, that show, just the times changed, and the show changes a bit. Totally. I think they're like, yeah, totally. Oops. So let's see. Did I do something wrong with this? This leg feels less. Oh no, both of these legs just don't feel stable. We're gonna have to build the base. That's fine. I'm not gonna build the other foot because we don't need it. I'm never gonna have her in stockings. Like, that's just not gonna happen. All right, let's build the accessories here. We've got our gardening tools, and then we have to build the stand. Got to build the stand, but we can build we need to build the hands to hold the gardening tools. A22 and A23 are... Okay, so it looks like gonna have to reuse. It's these. Great. All right, so we're gonna build some hands here. Very simple. We need I don't know why we didn't just start with the hands that could hold things, but we didn't do that. And then Aristovan says, I messed around a bit with the new Power Wash DLC cleaning Santa's workshop. Yeah, as I said, I started doing that as well. I probably won't show it off on stream. I mean, I guess I could always load it up if something goes weird with Persona 4 Golden with mods on Tuesday, but I don't expect there to be anything too weird with that. I expect it to just be fine. What also was fine, knock on wood, it will continue because we got a little time left on the stream, is my bit rate tonight seemed fine. I rebooted everything after Tuesday's stream, and everything seems to be way better than it was. Of course, we do have it so that my bitrate drops instead of frames dropping. That is a setting in OBS that I've been using. That does not fix the overall problem, the overarching problem, which is, of course, why do I keep having issues with frames dropping? Why is that still a problem? I thought maybe I put this neck on wrong. I think it just doesn't fit right well. Sorry. Put that on there. Yeah, I guess it just doesn't fit quite right. I think the hair moves it a bunch. Just have her kind of hang out over here. Hang out over there while I build two little things. Then we got to build the stand. That's going to be, the rest of the stream is going to be working on that. Yeah, so I did a little Power Wash Simulator today. I didn't really have the time for too much of it, but I got a little bit of it done, and that was fun. All right, so we got to put one of these on the hand, and then we got to build the other. That's how we're going to do that, which is fine. The next thing I'm working on is a Lego set. Is a Lego 3-in-1. The Lego 3-in-1 vintage motorcycle. So we get a motorcycle, we get a street racer. Okay, so that goes out, goes out, goes out. Okay, so that works like that. Okay. Yeah, so we got the street racer. And what else? Was there anything else going on with that I was like, oh yeah, we need to talk about that. Oh yeah, and then the like a drag racer car, which is fine. I would describe that as a fine piece of equipment. I like a 3-in-1. It's been a while since we built one of those. I always like to do real Lego because we've done some fake ass Lego. It's always nice to get in there with the real. And we'll be doing that next. That won my $10 patrons poll. Everybody who votes voted for it, which is great. 3 out of 4. Because there's one person who is at the $10 level that I know is just someone from my comedy world life that supports me on a monthly basis, which is incredibly generous of him. But I think he doesn't particularly care what I'm streaming or what I'm building in what order, which is fine. This does not fit particularly great, but whatever. We got it in there. All right. Our Miorine is assembled completely. She needs a stand so that she can stand up. So we got to build her a stand. And then once the stand is done, this kit is done. We can put it to bed. I was expecting to be done today. I thought actually we'd be done a little sooner. But there were, some of the leg stuff was a little complicated. The arms, both the arms and legs, were a little more complicated than I would have imagined, which is fine. All right, so we need one. One goes here, and then one goes here. So this goes like this, and this goes like that. No, that doesn't fit right. What? I should know how to put these together because I've done it. Clearly done it already. Like, obviously I've done it because you can see behind it. Yes, so we have a watering can and a hoe. We've got gardening tools from Miorine, which I think is a nice little touch. Watering can and a trowel, you could say, I guess. I guess trowel is probably the better term to use there. Okay, there it is. I got it together now. I don't know why that was so difficult, but it was. Why is this? Sorry. I don't know why this is being so difficult to connect. I need to keep talking as I build. That's part of the whole thing, is that I talk as I do this, but I'm going to pop out I don't know what's happening right now. This is a weird thing to get stuck on, is assembling the stand, since, like, as I said, I have built one of these already. Like, I am already built one of them. All right, so this goes like this, which means this has got to go like here. And then there's like a lip that needs to connect here. All right, no, and then I was like, oh, once the lip connects, then it just works. But it doesn't just work. And that's weird. It should just work. There we go. That worked. Okay. We did it. I didn't see our hands work. Could you conceivably give Miorine a gun? So, yes. These are just hands here. These hands don't have... They're just holders here. So if you had a gun that was small enough, you could give her a gun. It's not like Suletta's hands that have a little thing, a depression in it to hold the ball. These, yes, you could very easily give her like any kind of weapon. And then this one, yeah, the hoe, like, in half just kind of clipped in place. Because the watering can is just two pieces. So yes, conceivably, I guess we'll just leave it zoomed in here. Maybe a beam saber, yes. I could see a world where you pretty easily give her a beam weapon if you were so interested in doing that. All right, so now I need 5 or 3. We'll go with 5, I guess. Okay, so that's connected there. Nope. All right, that's connected. Great. Because that's going to go basically here. There we go. So that connects her like that. And then I need the part that goes to the base, which is 4. And then that's going to attach here. How do you attach? Why do you attach? Where do you attach? Nope. There should be an indent here. There's like a... Okay, so you like that. There we go. And then we'll use this here. Pop this in. Tilt this back. And then actually we'll do it like this. And there's Miorine. And I'll put her with Soletta. I'm going to have to redesign things a bit, but yeah, there's Miorine. Hanging out, doing her thing. I don't need the rest of these parts. I am not going to do the water slides of the head. I'll leave that for some other brilliant builder out there. We're not going with the stocking feet option. We're going to go with the boots option. Again, this does come with many, many eyes and faces that we are not going to go with. And the part on her uniform, the school uniform element, we could have done with a water slide instead of a sticker. We're not going to. I don't want to. But yes, I could also play around with some beam sabers, a variety of sizes. It would be a smaller one probably. But I could give her weapons if I wanted to. And I'll do this so you can see her hanging out. There she is. Oops. Her head is popping off. Does not like being on. Her head does not like staying on because I think her hair is heavy. Anyway, it's Miorine. There she is. There she is. Hanging out. Doing her thing. So we're not going to get started with that tonight because we don't really have the time for it. But I can tell you the next thing that we'll be building, which will be, we'll start with the vintage motorcycle in the 3-in-1. But we have the vintage motorcycle, we've got the street racer, and we've got the dragster. So I think this is I think, because I will null everything for Saturday, so I'll have it all ready to go. I'll have all the Lego that I need on the table, organized, ready to go. My assumption is that I will. There we go. You can see her now. My assumption is that I will start this. Is that it will take 1.5 streams to do all this, because the bigger one will take a little time. The other ones won't take any time at all. So that's my guess, that like we'll definitely be done with all this Lego on Monday. Should also say that I have a holiday themed, a Christmas Lego set for Monday the 25th. I will be streaming on Christmas Day. We'll probably go over the schedule at some point, but I will say that I do have something special to build on Monday. It's right here. There it is. It's bears, and it's we got a little tree. We'll make it bigger so you can see. That's what I'm going to be working on Wednesday. Or it's not Wednesday, the 25th, Monday the 25th, Christmas Day. I'll be working on this one night build there of some bears and a little ice thing. We'll do that. And then so we'll pause whatever I'm working on then to go back to do that. And then that'll be that's how we'll celebrate Christmas ass day. So look forward to that, because that'll be fun. And I think that's it. I think we're gonna wrap up there. We're gonna go on a raid. We're gonna go find some people doing some of the cool shit out there that we want to go be a part of and hang out with them. Because we always end with a raid. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me as I built Miorine. She's going to go in there with Suletta, and the couple can be together. I have to rearrange everything on my shelf there. And, oh, he did it. Let's check another thing here. It looks like Jeff is streaming now. I thought he was going to stream tomorrow night. Turns out he is he's streaming now. I did not know that. I thought tomorrow he was going to be streaming. Jeff is streaming. Yeah. So we'll go raid Jeff because I'm a mod, so I kind of need to hang out there. And he's playing Mega Man. He's playing a Mega Man, so we do need to go hang out with Jeff while he Mega Man's around. So feel free to come along on this raid. It'll be a good one. Jeff playing some games here. I was surprised that he is, but yeah, he's streaming, playing some he's ranking NES games. Thank you everybody for hanging out with me. I hope you come along on this raid. I hope you come back to hang out on Saturday as we continue to finish up the year with fun Lego and model kit builds. I'll see you soon. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.